What is this garbage you're watching? I want to watch the news.
Are you making headway at least?
This is the news.
Right there. All right, well, let's go back to electronic stalking, because that term scares me.
Okay, well, the term we use for this crime, we want to, excuse me, that's typical, this always happens. The term we use for this crime, we want to be as descriptive as possible, and so we call it organized stalking and electronic harassment. And organized stalking differs from single stalker stalking the way that organized crime differs from single individual crime. They're both crimes, but in the organized stalking world, there is an organized network of stalkers. And these stalkers network from state to state and even internationally across the boundary. And organized stalking consists of two phases. One is carefully crafted harassment based on life's normal breaks carried out by people in the community who have been told lies about their target. That's one phase. The other phase is invasive through-the-wall electronics, which can continue the stalking even in the privacy of the target's home. And interestingly, the equipment which can carry this out has been around for decades, has never been classified, and is available to anybody who wants to acquire it and has the money. So that's the quick definition of organized stalking electronic harassment.
Okay, so the average person can get access to the ability to stalk someone else, you're saying?
Well, I'm saying in the electronic stalking phase, the equipment is obtainable by anyone.
All right, let's talk about some crimes that may have been electronically, there may have been something done electronically to create the crime. Let's talk about, is there anything that you could possibly refer to, either in Canada or the U.S., that might have electronic stalking as the background of the crime?
Well, from time to time, we hear people who explode and harm or kill somebody and say, yes, I'm being stalked electronically, being under surveillance everywhere and harassed wherever I go. And because they are a criminal at that point, nobody takes what they say seriously. Most of our members do not go off the deep end, and we simply persevere, and we work towards the single objective of making this crime aware for the public, because the public most of the public don't realize this is happening.
All right. How did you find out about electronic stalking? How and when did your interest in this subject begin?
1980, my world turned upside down. Everything was fine one day, and the next day, people began to harass me on the street. I would come home and find my clothing ripped, things missing from my apartment, consumable items partly dumped out. They rarely dump them all out at one instance. And then when I tried to sleep at night, I was kept wide awake every single night, which was not natural. Doctors found absolutely nothing wrong. And I carried on against that over several jobs in different locations for 16 years until I came across a paper by former U.S. Army intelligence officer Julianne McKinney, who described organized stalking using different terms. She called it microwave harassment. But that's how I came about it. I've been a target now for 30 years.
Okay, now there are a lot of people that are saying, I am not buying this story. I don't believe it exists. I don't think they can do this. I don't think they would do this. Well, the question, though, is it possible physically? Now, you majored in electronics or in engineering, so you've got pretty much a better idea than I would have on what it takes to be able to do this physically. So can they physically do electronic stalking?
Oh, absolutely. I say that there are 5 absolutely available to anyone with a cache, through-wall, silent weapons that leave no trace evidence. The most obvious one are these radar scanners that are used at airports, which will work just fine through any wall that isn't metal. And so that gives the perpetrator a great launching pad for all sorts of harassment skits. For example, sometimes they will cheer or blow an automobile horn when someone flushes a toilet, and this will keep up for months. So clearly someone is watching. That's just a limited example.
Okay, now physically, though, what kind of equipment does it take to do something like this? Are you talking about a tower that does it? Are you talking about an implant in someone that's been put there without their knowledge? I mean, how does this take place?
Well, we of the thousands of people in our group, only 2 have had confirmed monitoring, tracking, and control implants removed. And so the rest of us, it's kind of speculative because most of us don't have mysterious lumps or missing time or wounds the way these 2 people did. Just let me go on then with the weapons. Another weapon is the ordinary microwave oven with the cover removed and a directional horn antenna placed on the magnetron. This will bathe the target in high-power microwave and cause all kinds of symptoms, some very bad physical symptoms, some permanent, but I think the capabilities of high-power microwave are pretty well known. For example, asthma, cataracts, headaches, memory loss, early Alzheimer's, bad dreams, depression, fatigue, concentration loss, that's a big one, appetite loss, heart and blood pressure problems, and cancer. And that's all with a $200 microwave oven aimed through the apartment wall of the target.
Okay, so you're not saying somebody in your own apartment, but that somebody next door could have a microwave with the door off of it aimed at you.
Yes, well, you'd have to do a little more. You'd have to make a sheet metal horn to make the transmitter directional.
All right. So what is the most common? If I were to ask you, when people come to you, and I know you get emails all the time, and let's give out your website and your contact information so that people can check out your website. I know we've got one of them linked with it at the website. Give both your websites.
Okay, well, the one people should start at, because it's not it doesn't contain an overwhelming amount of information. It's better for first visit. It's 3 words strung together. The words are multi, M-U-L-T-I, stalker, S-T-A-L-K-E-R, that's singular, victims with an S, victims.org.
All right, we'll be back after this break. We'll give you the, now that's the one to start with, ladies and gentlemen, multi-stalker-victims.org. Back in 4 minutes with our guest, Eleanor White. Stay tuned to the Power Hour.
Did you know that...
Welcome back to the Power Hour, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Is there such a thing as organized electronic stalking? Well, there are a lot of people concerned about it, a lot of people that feel that they are being stalked. The questions that are asked: why is my home entered when I'm out? Why are my things being damaged or stolen? Why are my work and work area tampered with? Why is my car tampered with overnight? Trouble with the phone, trouble in public places, mail delayed. All of these things they feel are a part of electronic stalking. I don't know. I'm not electronically stalked. Do I think they have the ability to do it? Absolutely. There is a U.S. Department of Justice special report dated January of 2009 at the website multistalkervictims.org. You can check that out yourself. Do I think DARPA can do this? Yes. Do I think they want to do it to the average person? I don't know if they have an interest or not. So the question is to Eleanor White, our guest today, is why would they want to electronically stalk you or anyone else? If somebody's just an average Joe going back and forth to work, what purpose is there in stalking them, Eleanor?
Well, Joyce, this is just my theory, but it's 30 years of having time to think about it. And as far as I can tell, this is when police stop responding to crime calls and thuggery increases, as it does in our case. This is very typical.